make a small contribution, hopefully, towards the Titli Trust. But Titli Trust would really appreciate any kind of support for it. Thank you.
Friends, I would like to give you a suggestion. This is one of the reunion books published by my batch on 30th year of our reunion. So this kind of thing could be done for our PGDFM batches also. So if anybody wants to look, I will keep this copy with Professor Dredd, and then we will help.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was, yes, it's been just 7 months since we guys have been here, and we already have a lot of memories to share for the rest of our lives with our friends and the college and faculty over here. And I'm sure you guys also would be having a lot, many of them.
So I'm sure all of you guys who have been Alumnites for a year now would have treasured a lot many such stories and would like to share some of them with us now. So I hand over this stage to Marisa.
And the way we'd like to go about is we'd like to call on your name, and you can come here, introduce yourself, and you can share your memories or anything related to your journey since you've turned Alumnites 25 years ago or 10 years ago. So with that, we'd like to start off with Mr. Pranay Lal from the 94 batch.
So I've been told we got a lot. I'll speak for 55. Oh, okay. So Vandana is my wife. We've got 2 lovely kids. Arya, who's 13, my daughter, and my son Avi, who's 11. And Vandana used to work with the New Zealand High Commission. She now works as a freelancer on public affairs issues. She's just signed a book deal with a major publishing house, and they're expecting her book to come out. It's a work of fiction. It will come out in possibly in November. Yeah, so I guess that's my whole life. 55 minutes. Okay. So I wrote a book called Indica, The Deep Natural History of the Indian Subcontinent. So it's a book which it's basically I don't know what to say. It's a book. Thank you. I've got an agent here. Free So it's a book on how India got made and how the rivers, why the rivers flow the way they do, and why do you have different landforms the way they are. And in a sense, it also describes you why you have sal forests in the north and you have Tectona grandis in the south. Why is Tectona grandis called Tectona grandis? These are the questions that we had as kids or even when we were in IFM, but never got answered. So sorry about that. So, I thought I'd do a complete guide to India's deep natural history, and I thought I'd come up with a book. So it got published in 2016. That's the next one. So don't buy it, it's available on LibGen. All of you guys can download it from me. Well, authors don't make money, you're not incentivized to actually publish more. Because there's far too much piracy and stuff, so it just doesn't incentivize you. But yeah, the passion is to fire imagination. That has now spiraled into something larger, and there is a Museum of the Earth that is being proposed. Yeah, it's a very large project, and I don't know. So the book has actually, triggered a lot of interest in geology, in landscapes, in conservation of landscapes, and I think a deeper understanding of rivers, river management, forests, grasslands, just for everything. So I think it's a small contribution, but I hope it leads to bigger changes. Thank you so much.
Something of item days. Your memories. Yeah.
I'm all embarrassing.
Doesn't matter. Anything.
always dropping me, and I met Anand Sinha, and he mistook him for being a professor. And I think that was a very common thing, a lot of people, and I think I was the first, I can claim to be possible. And I think we were walking from this, this narrow path, which actually should not be a path, but cutting across the admin building, going towards the hostel. And that's when we saw Anand Sinha coming from the water tank side. I think he came a day prior, so he knew his way around. So he looked pretty confident when we asked him. Professor Sahab, that kind of thing. I think that's what I remember first. I mean, that's my earliest memory of IFM. And it's a place that we enjoyed looking at civet cats. Ram was one of the fellow aficionados on looking at civet cats, and we used to look out for scorpions. I remember we once chased a monitor lizard that had got into the corridor. We were hoping to catch it, we couldn't catch it. Soft-scaled vipers were a real interest for us. We couldn't muster the courage to catch one, but I don't know whether you did, but yeah. So we loved the wildlife. We loved looking at the it was so raw at that time, and so much energy here in terms of the jungle that was here. It was, now I guess the urban space has encroached into that so you don't get to see as much as you should be. But I guess such is life. Thank you.
That was 55 minutes. Honorary, respected, honorary friends, gentlemen. What a pleasure to be here. Okay, I'm going to speak now because my wife is not here. She is on her way, so I will keep this short. My name is Anand Sinha. I am also from Pranay's batch. So the advantage of being bald and elderly looking when you're 25 is that at 50, when you have your reunion, everyone comes to you and says, "Hey, you look so young." So now this is like, my comeback time, okay? Everyone came up to me and was like, "Professor Sahab, aap director ho, aapke bache ke baap ho," etc. Now it's like, "You're looking so young and you..." Hang on long enough, it happens. Okay, so what you want me to talk about what? What's useful to you guys to know about me? Rap song.
Rap.
We will do that, but not just now. We will do that, okay? We will do some rapping song stuff. I passed out from IFM and I worked in the forestry sector for about a year and a half, etc. And then I moved into social research and into public health. Eventually, that's where I work right now. I came a couple of years ago and I gave a talk to the previous batch. I can't even remember, I'm getting old now, how long it was, but I think it was a year or two ago. Basically made the case that IFM is a great place to study, but don't get head up about the career trajectory it sets you on, because the career trajectory has got almost nothing to do with the job that you get when you leave campus here. So don't worry about what happens on campus placement and will I make my career, etc. It's not. So I think what you'll see from this collection of people here is that everyone's made their own journey, and I think that's what's beautiful about. We're not ones that you would predict. We're not ones that you would have said is the pathway that I come back in 25 years. And at the same time, when you meet after 25 years, you see people that are essentially the same. Okay, I was just telling Manish Shankar, he still wears the same shirt and pant. I don't think he's 25 years old, but he still wears in the same way. Okay, doing the same things. It is 25.
Mood points.
Huh? Mood point. Totally mood point. Sorry, totally mood point. He was very famous for saying everything is a mood point. Back then. So I worked in public health. I worked on. I've had the privilege of working with projects implemented by USAID in North India, Following that, I worked for about 5 years with the Gates Foundation, and now I work with the Packard Foundation. The last 8-9 years, I worked mostly in Bihar. I had the chance to spearhead the eradication of the polio project in Bihar. More recently, I'm working on reproductive health and adolescent health. It's all very boring, but it pays for the stuff that you want to do, which is something quite different. My passion is essentially cycling. That's what I do a lot of. I started one of India's largest cycling groups about 10 years ago. I also operate a fairly ambitious project in Delhi to try and get people to cycle to work, start using cycle as a non-poor means of commuting and travel. In a place like Delhi, it's fairly crazy and ambitious, but that's what I do and that's what drives me a lot. I like to travel a lot. And yes, and I'm married to my batchmate. I'm the only one who's married to my batchmate, so I'm the only one who's
married to your batchmate?
Huh?
You can be the only one, no?
In your batch only. First day there are not of
Hey, no, that's not true. Your batchmate is also married to you.
No, I know. I said I'm talking because she's not here. That is, let's be very, very clear. Okay, she's the one who married me. That's no question about that. Okay. She agreed to marry me. And yeah, and my daughter is also here. I think that's part of my sort of emotion. Our personal journey started. So thank you very much for giving me the time to talk to you guys.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to invite Mr.
I'll keep this as brief as possible because most of what I did after going out of IIFM didn't really have anything to do with IIFM. For the first 4 years, I worked with BILD in their forestry operations, raw material procurement, and a little bit of related IT activities. And then I had to move out of Maharashtra. I had to go to Bangalore for some personal reasons. And then I made the decision to switch to IT. So everything I did after that, I did in a lot of domains except forestry or the development sector. So I worked in the oil and natural gas industries, retail, I worked with manufacturing. A lot of domains, everything other than forestry. I worked as a programmer first, and then I moved on to project and program management, sales, and IT. As I said, everything I did after that had nothing to do with IISM, but it was a very enriching experience. I specialized initially as a serial entrepreneur. I wanted to, I started a couple of startups, but after that now I seem to be specializing in shutting them down. That's about it. I have a lot of memories. So if I start digging into them, I think I'll eat up the rest of the time. So let's save that for...
One is good.
One is good? One is good.
They're being generous when they say memories. They just say about one.
Yeah, the most notable one. Yeah, a lot of wildlife related memories. So I ran into porcupines and got scared and like medium white. A lot of encounters with snakes as well.
You can talk about your Hindi language.
I've always struggled with Hindi. It's always been a foreign language to me, and the person who took most advantage out of that and kind of had fun with me was Vinith. He would literally roll on the floor listening to my Hindi. I was never good at figuring out gender, right? So yeah, I remember this one incident when we were sitting in the mess, and a couple of others were there. Vinith was there, and I was telling one of my batchmates, Kavita, about something, and she wanted ice, and I said, "Nahi dungi." So I remember that. I laughed for about 10 minutes. So yeah, I still have a big challenge. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Loss for us when asked to speak in public. Okay, so I begin with duty. What else? Right. So when I graduated from IFM, I started with a B category job. Do you guys still have that in placement? So there are B category jobs and there are A category jobs. If you land an A category job, you cannot apply for more. But if it's a B category job that you've landed, then you can continue to apply for other jobs that are being offered. And I was one of those rare species that IFM produced who opted for a B category job and didn't apply anywhere else. But that landed me with a very shady NGO in Dehradun. Can't be named. It's probably shut down. So I quit that, and 3 months later I found myself in Delhi looking for jobs. The offer that I got from Development Alternatives, which I wanted to join, was not enough to even pay my rent in Delhi. And at the same time, there was another offer from a corporate organization, again won't be named, which was very, very attractive. And that being the only offer I had at that point of time, I joined them. Signed a bond for 3 years, served my bond. At the end of 3 years, decided to not join any organization again. And that's how I've continued to be. I've been a freelancer. I work in the domain of rural livelihoods, livestock-based livelihoods, and so on. Had an opportunity to work with some excellent grassroots organizations as well as a volunteer, sometimes as an advisor. And based in Delhi, that's about it. We can talk more one-on-one if anybody is interested.
You're making you sound so dull, yeah.
I am here.
Tell us your nice memories of...
Nice?
Nice.
Lice?
Yeah.
Lice or nice?
Nice. Nice. Spice. Spice is good.
Saucy.
I'll have to really think hard about that.
What spice?
I mean, I can't divulge them, right?
If your life so interesting, you know. You can just say like anonymous, you know, whatever. Roommate. Something like that. I don't know, anything. We won't really get
Can't think of anything, but I'm sure there'll be other occasions to share spicy stories, informal talks.
Mr. Jay Bhatia.
What is the hygiene
Hi, good morning. My name is Jayesh. Part of this crazy gang of 92, 94. I'll start with the memories. I think most of my memories at IFM are a blur, and you can imagine, the creative ones can imagine why. It's such a beautiful place. The different flavors and spiritual treats that kind of ensure that your body is...
spirits and monks.
in bottles? Spirits in bottles?
Yeah. There you are. But, absolutely. As part of that whole thing, we were kind of with one of the kindred soul on the faculty side said, this place is heaven. Don't make it a hell by drinking. And I think that particular faculty, I won't even really go on to kind of on the gender side, but that particular faculty, I think had a really great time getting spiritual with us once again. Yeah, I mean, it's been a wonderful journey thanks to that spirituality that came through here. Continues to be spiritual. I set up a consulting company back in 2003. We continue to really work in the forestry, started on the forestry, livelihood, natural resources sector. Currently, we are focused across various sectors in the rural domain, from health to education to different aspects of health, water and sanitation. We have some contribution for you to kind of come back to us with BRICS and Smart Mission, covering the entire country. We do provide knowledge support and technical support to the National Rural Livelihood Mission, different state governments, bilateral and multilateral agencies on aspects of policy and forest management. Before that, I worked with, started with Balapur Industries along with 4 other batchmates here. Worked there for 3 months. After a few scares, thankfully 50 meters, 60 meters after I had crossed that particular line, I landed up in Delhi, worked with Delhi for about 5 years. Surprised myself by heading to Oxford for a second master's.
And everyone else.
And Foundation at Ahmedabad. Freelanced for about 1.5 years. Worked with TCS for 1.5 years, managing one of the, and surprise, capacity building of the Indian Forest Service. Managing this and coordinating this project for DFIB to set up my own consulting firm back in 2003, which I briefly spoke about. I have 2 kids, Vedant and Vidwat, 20 and 14. Keep me occupied. My better half also is from IFM. She would hopefully be meeting you next year. Yeah, I mean, as I said, memories are blurred, so please don't ask me. One-on-one. We had some lovely time with the faculty here, and one of stories for us as well. It's a pleasure to be back every time at IFM, and really appreciate the always articulating. And we look forward to hopefully in the next couple of years that we are active, I'm active, that I'll keep coming back. Thank you so much.
Next, I would like to invite Mr. Vineet Rai.
मेरा नाम विनीत राय है. I would actually stick to memories because मैंने बहुत मेहनत से तैयारी की थी. And nobody, my batchmates as such, they didn't give me the opportunity to talk about the memories. So I'll take you through my memories. I was actually a fairly mediocre guy, and I knew pretty early I'm mediocre. Height, life, with everything I was mediocre. Intellectually I was very mediocre also. What did I say? Is or was? It continues. So I actually came to IFM because Jayesh's father, Jayesh and I know each other before we came to IFM, saw me loitering around in Jodhpur on a bicycle after my graduation doing nothing. And he was very concerned कि राय साहब का बेटा तो लगता है जिंदगी भर ये निकाल देगा. So he actually filled my form for IFM. That time IFM was not CAT, and I always thought CAT was brilliant. I actually came to IFM and met Anish Kumar, who had got through 3 IIMs, right? I came for the interview. I somehow cleared the written and came to the interview and immediately bonded with a thin, slightly taller guy than me called Ram Narayan. Both of us were very confident that we were bottom of the group. We were also very confident that there is very limited chance we will get through. So we started scheming together. There is something called a group discussion. And we had a couple of, one was a very hot looking girl. I forgot. I think Ram, you would remember, both of us were looking at her and saying, "Ye to ho gaya, iska to ho gaya, apna to chance nahi hai." They were a stern girl also in our group. Okay, this articulate and stern girl would actually shut us up every time either of us tried to open our mouth. And this was when we were pre-group discussion. We were actually trying to make a point, and she would shut us up. So Ram and I actually plotted that we will go into the group discussion and go after her. That girl is actually in this room. And she's nodding her head. As the group discussion started, both of us tried to open our mouth, and she went after us. And for the whole 2 years, post after we get selected, we were kept shut by her presence. Her name is Ratna Shrivastava, now Sinha actually. And
politically
the one that I was talking about went to IIM Bangalore. She didn't join, by the way. She got through.
You said,
yeah, of course. What do you think? Ram and I exchange notes even now. So anyways, so I landed up here, and I have individually spent significant time with each one of my batchmates. There were many things. I had this. I actually came in with the ambition that first time in my life, मैं टॉप करके दिखाऊंगा. पहले 3 महीने मैंने बहुत पढ़ाई की. उसके बाद मुझे लगा कि निर्वाणा जो है, उसके बाद मैंने क्लास अटेंड करना बंद कर दिया. यहाँ पे मेरे ज्यादा प्रोफेसर हैं नहीं. प्रोफेसर रेखा सिंह who taught us, but most others who taught us. प्रोफेसर विश्वास ने
अच्छा बोलना आपने पढ़ा है.
So my worst habit was I used to go off to sleep. And I used to sit next to Ratna, she was the topper. And I knew, and we used to sit right. So there were only 3 people who used to sit in the first row. Everybody was backbenchers. I used to sit in center. One side would be Paul Basil, and the other side would be Ratna. And they were ranked 1 and 2 or 3 between Gupta, Ratna, and Suna. Gupta, you were a backbencher, so I won't name you. But we were the 3 sitting right under the nose of every professor, and I will doze off within 3 minutes. And Ratna will keep it. Udo, tum girne wale ho. And that went on till I stopped going to the classes. I also remember there was a quantitative technique professor who at the end of the class actually asked, who is this brother Vineet Rai? The fact that I passed without attending gives a lot of credit to the assistants here who used to manage to let me slip my signatures and all that. I won't disclose the name of those people. There are some lovely memories of playing cricket. There are some lovely memories of actually, I don't think the faculty would have lovely memory of playing cricket with my team. I did actually took my entire team off a faculty match and it was actually, I think, sir, the 4th or 5th. We had a dispute with the faculty and we were playing the cricket match and Professor Biswas was batting and I felt that we have a serious dispute which the umpire refused to acknowledge. So I threatened the faculty that I will take my team off and this is all immaturity by the way. And I actually walked up with the team, we stopped the tractor, put the whole team into the tractor and came back to IFM. The match was in MSc. So we did some really ridiculous stuff. But coming back to post IFM, I actually I was supposed to struggle to get a job because of all the karni that I had done. And I actually distinctly remember Professor Petia coming and saying, if this guy gets a job, Russians don't believe in God, but when they came to India, they started believing. And if Vineet gets a job, then I'll start believing in God or something like that. I was one of the first few guys who got a job in India. It had nothing to do with my caliber. They only asked me one question, Odisha gayo? And I had actually been to Orissa for 5 months. So I got selected because I was sent to Orissa twice. I went to Balarpur and I was very happy chasing elephants. It was such a great life. You had to do nothing. I had a bullet motorcycle, then I had a jeep. And I did everything possible to drive the jeep up, down, saw the trucks turn. But I also had 2,500 people who worked with me. So learned quite a lot. Then I got married to a very beautiful girl. And note that, please make sure that she knows that she's very beautiful. I'm not going to brownie points with them. Once you get married, you have to say all the beautiful.
Facing camera.
I have a beautiful wife. And she's beautiful on Facebook.
touch with her even till yesterday.
So now you can just reinforce. Anyway, very quickly, this was 1997. 1996. I got married, and my wife came to my lovely heavenly abode in the forest. Nodded all the good things, and after 15 days, she said she will find it difficult to live here. And there was a big long episode of getting married as well. Rekha and Jayesh, Varsha and Jayesh played a very important role in actually me getting married. Varsha has a lot of details that even my in-laws still don't know of what all happened, including jumping up, going down, doing many other things. But leaving those details aside, I was trying to look for a job from the forest, found it very difficult to get a job, because if you're in a forest, you get a paper which is 15 days old. So by the time I used to apply, the jobs were gone. So I was actually handed over a job literally by IIM Ahmedabad. I rushed out, lived there for 8 months, realized IIM Ahmedabad was crap, so I decided to quit. I'm actually very honest. I realized the guys have no perspective of the world. They only were after money, so my qualification for them was quite low in any case. I got a job by mistake. The government of Gujarat was setting up an incubator, and I applied for the post of manager, because in Balarpur manager was a senior position. And funnily, they couldn't find a CEO, so they made me the CEO. I ran that incubator for 4 years, reported to the chief minister, learned a lot of things, and then I figured out that my job was to convert ideas into businesses. And I had this great learning that every Indian carries 10 ideas behind their back pocket. So ideas have no value. Every person I went and met wanted to actually money. And so I said, well, let's find money. Went to my board, told them, guys, idea has no value. People are looking for money, so give me money so that I can give money. Of course, the government kicked me out. And so I quit my job in 2001, and with 5,000 rupees, I decided to actually become a venture capitalist. Generally defined, and venture capital definition was simple. Begani Shadi mein Abdullah Diwana. It is somebody else's money. You give it to somebody else to create value, and your job is only to take it from here and give it to somebody. And in the process, and this is actually my great vision, I wanted to make poor people rich. 18 years have passed since then. I struggled very badly because I had no clue what IRR was, what finance was. But I was very committed to the idea of making poor people rich. Poor have remained poor, but I have distributed close to $1 billion. I don't know who I made rich, but the fact is 25 years has passed. That means a lot of time has passed as well. A lot of things have happened, and the best thing is that we are back here to discuss with you how the world has evolved. I'll stop here because I don't think so. I want to take you through the world and how it has evolved. But I think this institute has some great memories. Some of them, and directors are my personal request, some of them are serious eyesores in terms of development. This institute, when I came here, I joined this institute because the building is so beautiful. Unfortunately, there are some serious eyesores on this beautiful architectural marvel that has been created. If there is a way, can that be corrected? Because it will at least give us some respect of at least claiming that we have the most beautiful building in this country. And I will stop here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. That was the session. Our next speaker would be Mr. Anish Kumar.
It's a fact to follow. So I'll not attempt. Memory is first. So as you saw, I'm a backbencher, prone to white cracks, which others treat as PJs, and that's why classes were high point of my stay at IFM. So used to sit in the back, do my voice cracks, and enjoy myself. So that's my memory of classes at IFM. But IFM made me what I am. And as some in my batch say, I am a rare specimen. I started with villages. And I continue to be in villages. And in some ways, I found my calling after IFM created that opportunity. I joined a wonderful organization, Pradhan, where I found my calling, and it was truly a privilege to work with some of the most amazing women that I had opportunity to work with. Their courage, their inspiration, their effort, and I didn't attempt to make them rich, as Vinny, he has the resources. I did attempt to help them stand on their own feet, and with humility, I realized that the struggle continues, given where we are in this country. And that's what the last few years, couple of years, more than that, we have set up an initiative which we have very foolishly called Transform Rural India. When everything is going against that, we say it is possible to transform rural India, and that's what I do. The other thing that this space made me, as Pradeep keeps saying, if you marry up your class, you become a better human being. I had the opportunity and privilege to marry someone much above my class. My wife, Madhu, is truly an inspiration to me and has helped me anchored in the work that I continue to do. So in some ways, both as a person, as a professional, IFM made me. I am grateful to the faculty, to my terrific batch, and the facilities here. Apart from the ISOs, one of the best library faculty which encourage you to be serious also, and at the same time a question also. So in some ways, that's what makes us realize our calling. Not so much what the degree does, but setting with the peer group, with the faculty, with library, and that's what we go and make in our life. Thank you.